Om Shantis. We have a special guest here, as you can see the photo, Sister Sheerin. So, special welcome to Sheerin Ben. Welcome, Sheerin Ben.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Sheerin Ben.
It's lovely to be here with all of you. I'm very honored to be asking Moini Didi some questions today. And so, my first question, because I have been dying to ask Moini Didi this question for the past few days. When I heard Moini Didi's name in the Sakar Murli recently, which I'm sure all of you remember, it was, I think, last week, I wanted to ask her how she felt. First, I wanted to ask her what was the context in which Baba used her name? Was she sitting in front of Baba? Was she doing service somewhere else? How did Baba mention your name? How did it all happen? And how did you feel?
Om Shanti. On one side, Baba says, forget past. And here you have to keep really thinking of how it happened, when it happened. And I think it was in early 60s where some of us, we were in our early 20s. And so at that time, new centers were starting at different places. And so wherever Baba wanted me or Sudesh then to go for talks, we will go. And of course, at that time, being young and, just wherever Baba says, just go and give talk. So, of course, Baba will like it because we never said no. And also, I think that giving knowledge, presenting knowledge to public is also kind of art. And few of the things which I learned, which I was told by seniors at that time, one is that when you go on the stage, look at everyone as soul, as Baba's children, and be very, very comfortable. Comfortable in the sense that, oh, this is public. Don't get nervous in any way. And secondly, of course, we had learned being also in college, university, or in schools, they teach you how to write a essay, how to prepare. Jagdish Bhai also used to help us. In the beginning, give introduction of topic, then go in explanation, some examples. In the end, tell two things. One is the conclusion, conclude the talk, but also give the exact message what you want to share. So I think it used to be very well. And sometimes I was given a lot of chance to, wherever there was exhibition, they will invite and to explain to the chief guest of that exhibition. And it was always kind of appreciated. So I think in that context, Baba mentioned our name of saying yes and give a proper talk the way Baba wanted, or public will like it. Yeah, I feel, that when Baba appreciates, then you are encouraged and to become like more available and ever ready. Right?
Yeah, so you weren't in front of Baba when this happened. You were somewhere else on service.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but I know that I was not in Madhuban. So
Oh.
wherever I was also reading in Morley.
Mm-hmm. And now, when you hear your name, like let's say last week, how did it change over time? How did you, when you heard Baba mention your name last week?
No, I just smiled and I just look at Baba and say to Baba, I'm still available. I'm still available in different way because these days I get some request on Zoom of some of the talks. Like recently, there was something on some transport, some one or two logic topics for the big conference or something. Then I got one in from Colombia recently. It was good topic, but then you have to the way you have to talk is more in a logic way, even if you're giving gyan. And I told them that my intellect these days is very much just with helping Baba's children and reflecting and taking care of the stage. So maybe someone else can do it. So I'm just giving example that there is difference. I love to give talks on any subject, because luckily with some education, some information, I have enough knowledge or information to, give different talks. But at this time, my intellect and all energy is really focused on being together and exploring more on these spiritual subjects, which are directly connected with our stage, our final stage, and what we should be doing at present. So I do still get, as I said, calls like this, but I've been telling them, proposing them different names. But I get called like every 2 days for some program or other in any other countries also. So I think I just feel that I look at Baba and say, Baba, I'm still available, but for what my in my heart is that we as family, and if we are doing very well, then each one of you can be a good instrument wherever, in whatever capacity you can be. So I am very focused on our own Brahmin families, that they should become, and then of course they will share more and more, right?
Moini Didi, I wanted to actually, the main topic for today is the subtle region. And I wanted to pick your brain about the subtle regions. I remember you sharing your story about how you first went into a trance, that there was a Dadi, I don't remember Dadi's name, and you were sitting and both of you went together and she was checking to see if you were going in the right place. And so I don't know if, I don't remember you sharing that story recently in Avyakti Parivar. Maybe a few months back I heard, but not recently. And so I wanted you to share that story. And I also actually, the question I wanted you to ask is, how is your experience of the subtle region changed over time? How was it when you first went into the subtle region trance? How was it, let's say, in the 80s and 90s, and how is it now?
So whole journey, right? A Vyakti journey. Uh, I think that everything happens very gradually, because when we say going to subtle region or getting message from Baba, it just doesn't happen in a day. It takes few years actually to really feel and to understand what Baba is saying, because it's not words. So how do I communicate and how do I receive? But I know that one of what had been happening to me as soon as I came to Baba, not even came to Baba, but I knew little bit of Baba, little bit of meditation. So early morning I will sit, and when I sit, like I just, it's very easy to just go beyond everything. In those days they used to call it intoxication, and I could sit easily for 2 hours. And one time I know, then I start going to center, and when I will sit in front of Baba, I will be pulled very much, in the sense of I'm going beyond, not knowing subtle regions or anything. And I remember that one time I went in the morning, and then it was 11 o'clock. I didn't come out of that stage of just total intoxication beyond body consciousness, all that. When I open eyes, all the nobody was there, only instrument was there. Say, where were you? What were you doing? I said, I don't know. What I'm saying, this was like going beyond, and I'm being pulled gradually, like I start kind of seeing certain things, no, not understanding nor getting message or anything. And I will come and I will share with the instrument that today I had this experience, today I had this experience, different experiences, and then I think Baba came to Madhuban, Baba came to know that I have this kind of pull, and so Baba will call me early morning, Amrit Vela, 3:45, to come in his room and make me sit next to the wall. No, there is a bed, there is pillow on one side, there is wall on the other side. So I will take support of the wall and sit there on Baba's bed. Baba will give me drishti and I will kind of go, I should say. And so Santri Dadi, one who was Baba's official trance messenger, generally she used to, hmm, hmm, it seems according to drama, these little pauses in between help us to get into reflection, to think about what you heard. We were trying to get everyone to listen translation. And so Dari Santri was used to sit on the mattress there, and Baba will tell her to go in trance. I didn't know all that. This later on they told me, and then she will check, where I reached, how far I reached, things like that. And then when I come, like Baba will give me a simple question. Like one time Baba said, go and see the difference of Brahma there, which was a perfect image, and me. I was innocent, very young. I didn't So whatever I saw, I came in and told Baba exactly that there was more light, there was more sparkling. So what I'm saying, little by little, Baba started giving some training. See, in those days, part of subtle region was very active. When I active in the sense of like there were few trance messengers. So when we are offering Bhog, you will be surprised that we will see ourselves, many taking Bhog. Oh, we saw this one taking Bhog, that one. It's like the fairies, they flying and they going with everyone with their own tray offering Bhog. It was like very clear. I could see it. And so gradually, like first was just seeing things and then I start understanding little bit because trance also has many stages. One is just to have visions. A lot of people see things, they have visions. Other is that you what you see there and you bring and tell. And third is you take the message and bring back message. So going in trance, then trance messengers, like Dadi Gulzar trance messenger. Baba will tell her, one, two, three, just go ask Baba whether should be done about Yagya, about himself. And Dadi Gulzar will bring all the answers. So she was called trance messenger. And one was going in first is getting visions, then going in trance, and third is trance messenger. And for trance messenger, that means you have to have such clarity, purity, and subtlety that you taking message, you have to remember that. And second is you are bringing the answers or the message, so you become trance messenger. So I think gradually that stage where I also was able to take messages. Many times Dadi Gulzar was not there, or when Mama left body, and few occasions then I had to play some part there. So as I said, it was very active because Brahma Baba, whatever he did, he will ask Transmessenger, go ask Baba this. And then of course with the time, Brahma Baba also start kind of understanding what is Baba's Shrimat about anything. Because when the advice will come, Brahma Baba, no, this is Shiv Baba's Shrimat. Generally, it is Shrimat spoken. Shiv Baba will say some directions through Brahma Baba. But then, what exactly the Shrimat is basically came from the answers of the trance messenger. And Baba looked, heard that and said, oh, this is what Shiv Baba will say. So that's like Shrimat. So it's a very long, good, beautiful process. And for all of us, it was like, okay, whatever Baba will say, we will do. So Brahma Baba also will always do everything depend on what the message came. And that is where he will know what direction also to give to children. So it was really involving or evolving understanding of Shrimad, understanding of directions. Like, when Baba became aware, before anyone who had to give uh, what we used to call it cooperation with wealth, money for yagya, they will give in the hand of instrument. Then when Baba became aware, then the message came that we have to put a bhandari, Baba's box, and everyone should put there. Still some gave us because I think there is this bhavana that if a pure soul you're offering and is touched, then some kind of bhavana is there. But we put it in Baba's box. As soon as anything we get, it has to go to one who takes care of Baba's money and deposit and all that. We don't do that. One person within the group has the duty, within the team they do it. So it was very active role of trans messengers, and gradually it becomes more like the festivals, conferences, or if there is anything particular, then Baba will send some long and beautiful messages. And then, of course, when Baba became aware, after that, nobody became trans messenger because a lot of people say, what happened? Why there are no new trans messengers? But that's how the part was. It was not necessary because everything was clear. What is Shrimat? What should be the system? Brahma Baba became aware, so we could follow Brahma Baba now. So there was not that much need. And then gradually, a time came where, Thursdays we will offer bhog to Baba. And it has become more for me now to experience Baba, to be with Baba, and then, of course, whatever Baba has to say. But since Dadi Gulzar, she is more silent, of course, the part of Avyag Bab Dada also is not there. So the role of subtle regions is kind of reducing because we all are becoming angels, right? So there is subtle region still because that realm of light between incorporeal and corporeal world, activity is there. Like now, we will offer bhog of ancestor souls. So Baba will invoke Dadi ji, Didi ji, and little gathering there. That keep happening still on certain days, special days, or if we are offering a particular bhog. And also, this is also the time where some souls, especially Baba's children, and they don't immediately go and take another birth. One soul I have experienced 2 years ago. So Baba called her in subtle regions. And then she said, but Baba, I haven't completed my efforts. Baba said, that's why I'm keeping you in subtle region. And I will help you to be perfect. And then I will send you to play your part. So that means some souls for their healing, some souls for their perfections, but Baba keeps certain souls in subtle days, world for few days, and then go and they take birth and be part of the advance party. So it's getting less and less, but I'm sure that wherever is necessary, Baba still invokes us and kind of very clearly says one, two, three, whatever Baba's direction, or we call it more signals these days. Baba says these are the signals you all should follow. Like this Thursday, I didn't share that in the end when I was returning, Baba said, very important two qualities at this time is truth and honesty. Because then your heart is so light because of the truth. And your whole life, because there's total honesty. Total honesty in relationship, total honesty in everything. Truthful and honest are two important qualities where you will feel completely light and very, very free. Right? Because during the last time, last duration of the life and the world drama, we have to do complete settling, right? And in that settling, whatever is not truth, whatever is not an honest, will have to be settled, right? So if I am truthful and honest, And of course, in remembrance of Baba, whatever is there where I was under influence of falsehood or adulterated some kind of anything in that, not total honesty. So all that has to be said and know before going home. So when that situation will emerge in front of us, and I will say, but what I did, right?
Um, Moini Didi, I know we are running out of time, but I do want to ask you one or two last questions before we finish. One of my questions is just now in the session before you were sharing that we all have the capacity or we can develop the capacity to communicate with Avyakt Bapdada. And I wanted you to give us like three things, like 3 points, points in a nutshell. What is the effort we have to make to be able to do that, to be able to go into the subtle region, communicate with Baba? And the second question is currently in your own efforts, how much of the time are you spending in this world in your bodiless stage? And how much of the time are you spending in the subtle regions, and how much of your time are you spending in the soul world? Like, how is your remembrance? Where are you spending most of your time?
Yeah, cannot say how much time because it has to be 24 hours. So I don't really keep the time. Baba, for me, it's 24 hours in the sense. I can't say 24 hours, but early morning, midnight, before sleeping. It's like effort is always there, no? Baba says effort.
I understand what you're saying about effort, and I, I'm sure, agree that we should be there 24 hours, and I'm sure you're there 24 hours. But in the 24 hours of remembrance, um, how much of the time are you spending in the subtle regions?
Subtle regions.
Or how much of the time are you spending in the soul world, and how much of the time are you just here in total awareness, soul consciousness, bodiless stage?
I can't assess time, but I try to integrate. Everything I try to integrate while doing action, while talking. And let's say I wake up midnight, I will just remember Baba. Sometimes I just become, it's like soul conscious, bodiless, or any form, 5 forms. So it had been like, I try to do it as much as possible because that's where one gets energy or it gets charged to keep going on or not get influenced by anything. Because so many situations happen, we get to hear so many things, we have to decide on so many things, being whatever role I have to play. So I try to integrate. Let me remember Baba, let me be in eternal form. So it's as often I can do and try not to give a long gap, but I still cannot say how much time. But aim is really to kind of continuously keep creating one of the form, recharge or whatever. Sometimes energy needs to be more uplifted. It's like, so I integrate and I keep aim of integrating, whether it is night time, morning time, anytime. That's I could say, but also I explained that purity creates some kind of subtlety because when you are pure, you are very light, and then at this light, you are subtle. But one thing is that if you have a pure thought, you give to Baba, And don't expect answer or result, but you will see in practical the answer will come. It will be also in the form of thoughts. When you and second thing is you will get answer also sometimes in practical. Some cooperation will come, someone call you for something, so it's in a many different ways, but most important is to have a pure thought and talk to Baba, give to Baba that pure thought, and then you see how you're getting reply from Baba. Really, it works properly. So, only capacity I would say is purity and love for Baba. That increases the capacity to be subtle, to be angelic, and to be with Baba. And also let everyone around me have that freedom that help them also into that efforts. Because I find that if everyone around us, if they are also on a similar level, it definitely helps. Right. So experiment, try for a few days. If there is anything, I'm sure you all will have some experience and you will see your own angelic form, your crown of light. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Moini Didi. That was very deep. There were very many, very deep points you shared today. And I will definitely try that about purity and love for Baba and how much of the time I can really communicate with Baba. Thank you so much for your deep insights today.
Om Shanti.